So now we're recording, and I can officially welcome you all to this session this morning. And what we're going to do this morning is just to go through the whole what to expect. Like, I'm quite sure a lot of you woke up this morning and went, am I mad? What am I signing up for a diploma in credit management course for? Isn't life complicated enough with families and jobs and friends and all that goes with it? So part of what I want to do is, I suppose, put your mind at rest for starters. Congratulate you on the decision you made, because this is a life-altering decision. It shows a few things. Number one, it shows everybody that you're serious about a career in credit management. And, you know, the work that you put in over the next few months and getting your diploma in credit management, that will be on your CV for the rest of your life. So it is an important decision. And you know, nobody can ever take it away from you. And just if a position comes up and it's down to two people and one is qualified and one isn't, employers tend to go with the qualified people who have, you know, shown that, look, you're serious about a career in credit management. Like, this is not just because everybody who's in credit control fell into credit control. Okay, you've never met a 5-year-old yet that said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a credit controller. It doesn't happen. Or you don't even say the same to college graduates, you know, what do you want to do when you leave college? Oh, I want to be a credit controller. So nobody sets out to be a credit controller. They kind of fall into it, and some people hate it and run a mile, and some people kind of like it, and some people make a career out of it. Now, I'm one of these sad people who liked it and made a career out of it, and I just think it's the best career in the world. There is nothing like credit management. You're at the heart of the business. You know everything that's going on. You know, every day is different. You're making decisions. It's just great. And part of what I want to do throughout the course and throughout our contacts is just to give you that bit of positivity in credit, because a lot of the time we're surrounded in negativity and rows and arguments. And I remember meeting the sales director for the first time, and he said to me, oh, so you're the man I'm going to be fighting with from now on. What an introduction. And I said, well, if we're not fighting, one of us isn't doing our job. And I still believe that, you know, if the sales guy accepted everything I said, he's not doing his job as sales director. If I'm doing everything he tells me, I'm certainly not doing my job as a credit manager. So on that basis, there is going to be conflict. We have to act in the best interests of the company that we work for. We have to make sure that we're not just making sales, that we're making profitable sales. And I think that's what sets us apart from the salespeople in the organization, that we are the people who want to turn those sales into profit by getting the money into the bank. Is that okay? So that's what the role is. And we'll go through various flavors of the role. And guys, we want you to be interactive with us. We want you to talk to us. We want you to communicate. And we also want to put your mind at rest that there is support there for you. So even though, yes, you're doing a course, and yes, we'll go through the notes and the tests and assignments with you later on, I just want you to know that if anything crops up in your job, anything, just you get a notice of a creditors meeting and you go, gee, what am I supposed to do with that? You wouldn't be the first person who didn't know what to do with it. Pick up the phone, drop us an email. Dec, what's this? Because I want you to be better for going through your qualification. So if we haven't covered it in the course yet, and it's something that's live in your job right now, please use us as a resource. And I'm always happy to do that in any way I can. Is that okay? So that's, I just want to put your minds at rest on that one from the start. So, and just to enjoy credit control, I suppose, to give you the overview, and I know Katrina's going to go through the collections module with you later. Guys, there's a couple of things that I want to sort of put at the top of your minds before we even get started. And one is that people pay people they like. And this image of a credit controller who's shouting and roaring and fighting with people, that approach never works, never did work. And part of what we're going to be going through is building relationships with people, working with people, not against people, and in every way we can to accentuate the positives of credit and the positive contribution that credit makes to the business. Is that okay? So we want you to be positive contributors and valuable contributors within your companies. And obviously your loyalties always lie to the person who's paying your wages, because that's how the world works. Okay, what I want to do is I've done a presentation just to bore the life out of you, because you can't be happy all your life. Share screen, and there's no need to take notes or anything of that nature, because when we're finished with the session today, what I am going to, there's two things I'm going to do. Number one, I will send you a copy of this presentation for your own records, so you'll have it, that you know what's coming down the line and what to expect. And I will also send you a link to the recording. So if you want to go back and say, what did he say about that? There'll be a link to the recordings. So there'll be 4 recording links, one for the introduction that I'm giving, one for the collections module that Katrina will deliver. Then at 11:45, Paul Daly will be joining us, and Paul is the tutor for both international and for law. Is that okay? So, so what we'll be doing is, and I said it in the email, we'll take a break at around 10:30. Come back at 11:45. Paul will be here at that stage. He'll go through the international credit management topic with you, and then he's going to do the law at 12:15, and then we've questions and answers and wrap it up. So if you have made up your mind, and do you know what would be really helpful now that we have everybody here today? If you can go into the, well, I suppose there's two ways. You can go into the chat box and send me a message and let me know if you have absolutely made up your mind whether you're doing international credit management or Irish law. So you have a choice between those two subjects. Collections is mandatory because that's the basis of what we're doing. So in terms of introduction to international credit or Irish law, that's a choice that you have to make. So if you have made up your mind you're doing international credit management, then you're finished at 11:30 and you can go and enjoy your weekend. If you want to do law, then you take a break from 11:45 until from 11:30 till 12:15 and come back for the law lecture. If you haven't decided yet, then stay for the whole lot and listen to what's going on in the international credit management, listen to what's going on in the law, and then decide which one you want to do. And you can drop a note in the comments afterwards, or drop me an email or whatever. So I kind of need to know that for Monday. There's no real panic on that. And we will certainly be in touch. Is that okay? Let me see. There is somebody joining us. Yeah, thanks, Katrina. So that is what's going to happen this morning, and hopefully that is clear to you. In terms of the course, Katrina, and you've all spoken to Katrina, and she's on the call here. So Katrina will be looking after the collections module. So any questions you have about the collection subject, Katrina is the expert there, and she will be able to help you. When it comes to either international credit management or law, Paul Daly is the man, and you'll be meeting Paul at 11:45 when he comes along to have a chat with you and tell you what's in store in his subjects. So that is the tutors. So that's your first line of defense. Now, in terms of myself, I'm in the background, and I'm here. This is my day job. So if you have specific questions about the course, certainly Katrina and Paul. If you have more general questions, then any of us, including myself, always happy to help you. So just to be aware of that. Whoa, they always say when you're doing slides, not to put too many words on the slides, and here I'm just breaking it. So I don't know if you can see that clearly where you are. So how the thing works, how the whole course works is we get together today on for the first Saturday morning for a couple of hours, and we'll go through the notes. After that, then what will happen is on Monday, Katrina will send out your collections notes. All right. So you will get a notes pack from Katrina. And with that notes pack, there is what's called a short test. So the short test will be 10 questions based, and this is important, it's based on the notes. Because the reason I'm saying it's important that the questions are based on the notes is the answers are in the notes. So some people make up answers. No, the answers are in the notes. So if you want to get full marks, you have to regurgitate the answers in the notes. And you have a week then to complete your short test and send it back. So there's no pressure. So whether you decide I'm doing it on Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, you pick your time during the week. I would definitely block off a couple of hours. Now, you say how long, what's the time commitment from the course? And the short answer is I don't know. And the reason I don't know is I don't know how long it takes you to read a page. And the great thing about people is everybody's different. So for some people, a couple of hours, they can read it, retain it, learn it, do the test, all is good. Some others might take 3 or 4 hours. So I really don't know. It's not going to take over your life, put it that way. Is that all right? So just do block off time for the course and to get into the discipline and just keep up to date. So, you know, on the 24th of April, which is next Monday, you will get your notes, block off your time to read the notes, go through them, understand them. And the thing about collections, because it's practical, there will be practical hints that you can implement in the day job. So it's not just academic. I want this course to help you in what you do and how you do it and how you look at situations and deal with situations. So it is a very practical hands-on course. So that is that. And as long as you have your notes read and tests back before the 2nd of May, that's now the 2nd of May is the Tuesday because it's a bank holiday Monday. So we send out the notes and we get the test back each Monday over the next number of weeks. And that's that. So you have a week to return your short tests. So they're all the dates that you'll get. And what we've done, guys, you can see we've built in breaks as well, because I know it's the summer, etc. So look, there's a break there. There's a break in May. There's a break in June. There's a break in July. So there are breaks built in. And if you say to me, "Oh, Dec, my holidays are, you know, from the 10th to the 24th of July," that's fine, because we're having a break on the 10th. Your collections assignment isn't due back for 2 weeks. So, you know, you'll be able to go relax, enjoy your 2 weeks holidays, and then catch up when you get back. Is that okay? So look, we know it's summer, we know, and there's 2 options to you if you're going to be away a week or 2 weeks where the notes are due. You know, either one, you can just say to Katrina or Paul, "Look, I'm away that week. I'll be a week late with my test," and they'll say, "Grand, that's fine." Or you can be really enthusiastic and say, "Can you send me the notes a bit early and I'll get it done before I go?" So, you know, it depends on yourself and your timings. Either is an option. No worries, we can do either. The reason we have times, obviously we have to have a schedule to get the stuff to you. It helps if all the stuff, so if I'm correcting short test 1, it just helps if I do them all together, you know, because I have a limited memory as well. And if I do them and then come back a week later, I've forgotten half the answers myself. So it just takes time. So it's just better to do them all together. So that is your schedule. So you'll get notes, and then you get an assignment. You get notes, and then you get an assignment. So that's how it works. So in terms of well how the course works, so that's when you'll get them, all the notes and assignments. That's when you'll return them. So these are the notes to stick in your diary. So these, you return your short tests on these dates between now and the end of July. And then for the assignments, you have 1 week for the short tests, you have 2 weeks for the assignments. Is that okay? So that is that. The assignments will take, you know, a couple of hours or more to do. And I suppose the short test checks your knowledge and your, you know, that you know the material, and I suppose the assignments check your understanding of the material. And to me, understanding is probably more important than knowing. So it's not a memory test, you know, because school sometimes is a memory test This is not school. This is about understanding, and that's really what we're aiming to do. So that is that. In terms of the diary, which is important, what we will do is, so you will get your notes each week, you'll get your assignments as scheduled. When a couple of weeks before the revision workshop, what we will do is we will send you out a mock exam, and the mock exam will show you. So at the end of the course, we have a 2-hour written exam, just to test how you're getting on. So what we will do is on the 8th and 14th of August, we will send you out a mock exam, just that you know what the exam will look like, what the questions are, the kinds of standards that we're looking for. And the mock exam you do in your own time. So just my advice would be to block off a couple of hours, do the mock exam in an exam environment, and see how well you get on. You can bring your answers for the mock exam to the revision session. So in terms of the revision session, and this is the next time we'll get together. Is that okay? So some people think, oh, it's every Saturday morning. No, it isn't, or it's not any evening. No, we get together today for the induction. We will get together again on the 26th of August for the revision. And on the revision session, we'll go through the model answers for the mock exam, and we'll give you pointers in terms of what to expect in the real exam, and answer any questions that you have and help you any way we can. And then on the 2nd of September, which is a Saturday, we have the exams. So from 10 to 12, we have either international or law, depending on which one you're doing. And then from 1 to 3 in the afternoon, we have collections. So there's an hour in the middle. And the exams are remote exams. You will do them at home. They're not even done on Zoom. Is that okay? So what we will do is we will email you the papers at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you have 2 hours to get your answers back. Is that okay? Now, look, we know it's an open book exam, and hopefully we're clever enough to phrase the questions in such a way that you cannot copy and paste the notes. All right. So that is that. And for the collections exam, just to give you the heads up, it's in 2 parts. Part 1 is multiple choice. So you'll have 50 multiple choice questions to do in an hour. And then the second part is what we call the long questions. So there'll be 4 questions where you have to answer 2, and you'll have an hour to do that as well. So it is very doable if you keep up with it. And that's it. And then future dates as well. So this is term 1, which is collections and international credit management or law. Then the next term, which begins on the 16th of September, is the second term, which is risk assessment. So credit risk assessment and credit management. So they're the 2 subjects that we'll cover that term. And again, the same thing will apply to that term. The 13th of January, we'll have our revision. And then the 27th of January, we'll have the exam. So that's your 4 subjects, your 4 terms. There is 3 Saturdays, the induction that we're on now, the revision, and the exams. Just to put your minds at rest as well. Oh God, I'm on holidays for that one. Fine. Same as today, we'll record the revision sessions as well as the induction sessions, and we'll send you all a link to the recording so you can have a look and go back over things or ask questions or whatever. Is that okay? And maybe just to plant the seed, sometimes, and it may happen, in October, we might have an optional Saturday in October. Risk is a subject that some people can find difficult, and maybe they've mental blocks to it. So if we're finding that anybody is falling a bit behind on that, then we will stick in an extra class for you. Collections, international and law, that won't happen. Okay, because we know it's self-explanatory, and with the tutors you'll be grand. Risk is, because it's accounting based, it just sometimes takes a little extra work, and we're prepared to put in the work. Is that okay? Now you have to be as well, which is important. So we're not going to do the work for you. And part of the satisfying part for me is just watching the penny drop when people go, oh yeah, sure, now I see. And there you go, yes, a success story. So that is the date. So if you slot them into the diary, then that's what the course is all about. So how it works, I have told you, the notes go out before 6 every Monday. Tuesday is bank holiday, to the email address given. So, and some of you asked me to change addresses and stuff, and I'm happy to do that. And I've done it for anybody who's asked me. So if you want them to go to your work, if you want to go to personal, just send me the email addresses and I'll update the records and the notes will go out. That's just, in case we spell it wrong or something. So if you haven't got your notes by 6 o'clock on Monday, get on to Katrina and just to see maybe something's gone wrong here or whatever. We are not infallible or perfect. So that is that. So read and understand the notes, complete the short test and submit it by Monday. And that's submitted by email for collections to Katrina, for Law International directly to Paul. In collections, the additional exercises are recommended. So there are exercises scattered in there in the notes. And these are just for your own benefit and learning. There's listing exercises, there's all sorts of other bits. So we recommend that you do them. There's no marks for them. There's no additional, we just recommend that you do them. And then there's other stuff from a work perspective that's optional to yourself. So just have a go at them. It just helps the learning. So that's that. Yeah, that's we've done all that. There's the contact details. So Paul's mobile and Katrina's mobile. Now, particularly for Paul, and I'll talk for him because he's joining us later. So Paul has a day job. He's tutoring is something he does as a part-time job. So feel free to ring Katrina and myself because this is our day job, if you know what I mean. So we're happy with Paul. It's probably better to send him an email or even drop him a note or schedule a call or text him or whatever and say, look, would you have 10 minutes? I want to ask you a question. He's quite happy with that. So, he's just not there from 9 to 5 available all the time. So just to forewarn you about that, but feel free to contact us at any time. There's email addresses. So if you have any queries, now look, we'll get back to you as soon as we can and make sure that you're up to date and not leaving you in the lurch. We keep updating the notes, we keep changing it, we keep updating it. So if there is anything that you'd want more expansion on, that's why I'm saying, so talk to us. Can you give me more information about such and such? I'm one of these sad credit people. I just love that. Katrina kills me because I'll be gone for half a day researching something because somebody asked a question. And that's what I do for entertainment. So we keep the information flowing. And the additional services, I don't know what I was thinking about there. But just if you said, look, if we had access to company information or judgment information or international information or country specific risk analysis, I probably have all that information here on my laptop somewhere, which is absolutely no good to anybody sitting on my laptop. I'd love to get it out. So, if there is anything credit related that you'd like, ask the question and either we have it or we know somebody who does have it. So that is that. There's the assignments. So from a marking perspective, how is the course marked? So the course is marked out of 100%, believe it or not. You get 10% for the short tests. So that's 2.5% for each test that you send in. So that's 10% of the marks go for the short tests. You get 10% each for the 2 assignments. So that's another 20%. So the written exam is out of 70%. So in collections, for example, 35% is for the multiple choice questions and 35% is for the long questions. And if you've done your homework and you've got your short test done and your assignments done, and so between the multiple choice and the long questions, with a pass mark of 40%, it certainly is doable. We would have a very good pass rate. And here's the word of warning: it's not 100%. All right. So anybody who turns up at the induction, attends the revision, submits their tests and assignments, and turn up for the exam, they invariably do get through. People who think they know it all and can cram in the last week and just sit down and do the multiple choice questions tend not to do so well. So that's just a matter for yourselves. So there's 3 different sources of marks in the thing. From a professional membership perspective, and I think in the email, the follow-up email I send you today, I'll send you details of this, because I think it's so important that, and particularly now with remote working and email, I just find the whole personal contact is something that's suffering in the whole credit world at the moment. We tend to email people rather than talk to them. We tend to deal with people on Zoom instead of, and we're doing the same, instead of, like, 4 years ago we would have been in a classroom now this morning. So we need to reestablish personal links as well. And there is a whole world beyond your desk and beyond the course that we're doing here. And I suppose part of what I like to do is introduce you to that world as well. Part of that is, and anybody who's working in an international environment or whatever, then AICDP, which stands for the Association of International Credit Directors and Professionals, as a student, you can sign up for that for free. Is that okay? So what I'll do is I'll send you a link to the membership area. You just put in your details and you can sign up for free. They have webinars, they have talks, they have information, they have all sorts of stuff going on. And just even to get to network, particularly with international credit directors, a lot of these guys are, they're clever guys to get where they got. And a lot of them have a good story that, and most of them have come across situations that you're currently in and they've overcome them. So that is that. So I will send you the link to join AICDP. Just put in your details and submit, and that will be done. And on successful completion, because failure is not an option, of the course, you will get your AICDP diploma. So that is internationally recognized. AICDP currently active in lots of different companies, over 600 members now. I heard yesterday there was a gig on yesterday. So yeah, and you'll have contacts all around the world if and when you need them. Similarly, from an Irish perspective, there is the Institute, the Credit Management Institute of Ireland, CMII, and they're currently offering free membership to our students as well. So I'll send you the link for CMII. So this is the Irish Institute, deals with Irish companies, Irish businesses, and I'll send you the link for that as well. And again, at the end of the day, CMII will issue you with the diploma. So look, again, from a career perspective, being a member of associations and just even the learning and the updates that you get from them, it just adds to your career. We're not saying you have to, become an officer of the institute and give your life to it. Just dip in and dip out as you will. The marking structure, well, less than 40 is not an option to the group here. Between 40 and 59.9 is a pass. Between 60 and 80, call it, is a merit. And 80 and over is a distinction. So when you get your results letters, it will say, hopefully either a merit or maybe a distinction. Distinctions are very hard to get, just to let you know. So a distinction, because it is distinction, but that's up to you. And not only do you get a merit pass or distinction in each subject, your overall diploma then would either be with merit or distinction if you achieve those marks in everything. Is that okay? And that's me. And I've only gone, oh no, I haven't gone. It's exactly 10:30. So I am so impressed. I am delighted with myself.
That actually deserves a congratulations on that one. I've never
actually seen the clock
on time.
You see, it's all about practice. So what I will do is now I will stop the recording.